What up? It's your boy King Dial 225 coming at you with another reactionary video. So hit that like and subscribe and become part of the kingdom. I always tell my grandson, say, bro, you who you are as a person when ain't nobody around is the real you. And I make a lot of videos, reactionary videos to some bad cops because we need to reform them, psychological evaluations and whatnot. People keep talking about training, police training. But if you training a psycho or a bad person, ain't that the same shit we did with Osama bin Laden? We trained all the Afghans up to fight against the Russians, and eventually they turned into monsters. Training. Again, who you are as a person when ain't nobody around or looking, that's the real you. So we gonna get into this video of a cop who thought wasn't nobody watching. And I want y'all to notice out some key facts. And when we talk about systemic racism and shit, the police chief, either he was lied to or he knew the truth and put out this blatant lie statement. They always lie. They always protect each other. That's who they serve and protect. Police serve and protect other police. That's who they really be down for, go to bat for. Like he put out there like, oh, that didn't happen. This is what my police officer said. Well, you didn't see that camera over there in the corner. Who caught what really happened? Let's get to the video.
Tonight, Shelley.
Eric, this arrest happened back in June, but surveillance video is only just now surfacing through social media. Humble police say their officer did not strike this man, but the man's attorney says this video speaks for itself.
When I watched it, I was blown away.
This is the surveillance video from outside a bar in Humble that shows the moments a police officer takes down Chris Hanna.
He asked my client to raise his hands, it appears. He raises his hands, just like this, and the officer reaches for, I believe, his right hand.
Yes, sir.
In the officer's hand, I believe his right hand, he's holding his handcuffs. And then as soon as he takes my client's hand down this way, he turns and hits him almost like uppercut, holding the handcuffs in his hands almost like brass knuckles, and knocks him out.
And moments later, Hanna, already laying flat with the officer on top of him, is picked up by the back of the neck, his head slammed into the ground. Hanna says he still does not even remember this takedown, but was conscious as he was taken to the police unit, where he was immediately bandaged, he says, because of the amount of blood coming from his head. That bandage is clear in this booking photo from Humble Police. But Police Chief Ken Tice sending us this statement, saying in part, once the suspect continued to attempt to put space between himself and Officer Cox, the officer took the suspect down onto a patch of grass and handcuffed him without further incident. At no time did the officer strike the suspect, and it was determined the injuries suffered by the suspect were caused solely by the altercation in which he was involved prior to Officer Cox's arrival. Attorney Todd Overstreet says it's clear his head was not injured before the officer takedown.
He's sitting there calmly. He's still wearing his baseball cap. He's not holding his head. He's not attending to any wound.
The attorney says Officer John Cox was initially dispatched to the scene when Hanna called 911 himself out of fear for his own life during a parking lot altercation. Hanna admittedly fired a gun he was legally storing in his car, but turned it over to Officer Cox when he arrived. This portion of the surveillance video shows the second interaction with Officer Cox as Hanna was sitting and waiting to be questioned.
What he did at that point is inexcusable. It's police brutality. There's no other way to look at it.
We've asked Humble Police if there is an internal investigation into this arrest and if the
to trust them, and they want to know why they have a public image problem, it's because of things like this.
So, what do you got to say for this, Officer Tatum or Officer Tatum? Because he's one of the biggest black distractors out there. A black man who don't see no problem with anything the cops did. They was justified. Here we go again. Boy, that old Sambo shit. Here we go again. Lord, let's talk about how black people's delusional and they need to get off of this shit. Here we go again. This dude even said, y'all need to apologize to the Uvalde officers for y'all opinion. Like, you don't get your coon nut ass out of here. You know, some words you can't say. What you got to say for yourself? The officer did something. Body camera ain't sure. That's another excuse that. Man, you know, sometimes you don't think about pressing that button when you in the high speed chase. But you keep talking about training. Ain't you trained to touch that button? So you yourself saying, oh, we don't always pay attention to our training when we doing shit. So I wonder what he got to say about this. Dude got his hands up, clearly, not being aggressive or yelling at the cop at all. Got smacked in the face with a hand with some handcuffs in it. Officer lied. Officers don't lie. They always tell the truth. You suspects and criminals is lying. Man, a lot of them motherfucking police officers just as dirty as the motherfucking criminals they be arresting. Went to the police chief and said, oh man, ain't nothing happened. Police chief put out the same lie. Sue they ass, Holmes. Sue the hell out of them. This your boy King Dow 225 with another reactionary video. So hit that like, subscribe, become part of the kingdom.